2:00 this afternoon. Now, this is an intriguing story, and maybe this will ring a bell with you. It's about a mysterious book, and it's about a woman who's trying to track down a family in Brighton who originally owned a book that was bought by her late father. Kate Coley lives in Stratford-upon-Avon and wanted to return a copy of Oscar Wilde's The Ballad of Reading Gaol. This is her story.
It was my father's. He collected books, and there were hundreds of them, and I've kept the ones that I thought might be interesting one day in a box in the garage. And I'm off work at the moment because I'm recovering from an operation, so I've actually got time to go through them. And the first one that came out of the box was The Ballad of Reading Gaol by Oscar Wilde, and it's quite old looking, and I thought, oh, that looks interesting. So I was going to research to see, if I could find anything about it. But as soon as I opened it, I realised it's got somebody's name in it, and it's got a message to Sister M, March the 10th, 1898. And there's a sticker. This book belongs to Emily L, and I think it's Fisk, but I'm not completely clear. And then it's got an address, 8 Wellington Road, Brighton. So my father has also written that he bought it in 1948 in Liverpool when he was stationed up there doing his national service. And I thought, it's got a name and an address. There may be a family in the Brighton area or thereabouts who, might be interested in having that book returned to them or might know something about it.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because it's obviously a long time ago, but, there could be grandchildren or people that remember that name.
Exactly, and the address is still there. I haven't Googled it, but my son has. So 8 Wellington Road, Brighton, still exists. So it's not like it's been knocked down or anything. So I just wondered if any of your listeners, if it meant anything to anybody.
Yes, and your father was obviously a big collector of books.
Yes, there were hundreds. When he passed away, it took me a long, long time to go through them, and a lot of them were given to charity. But as I said, anything that looked either interesting or potentially valuable, either monetary value or emotional value, I put to one side, and I've just had time to go through them, starting to go through them. And this is the first one I picked up, and I thought, oh, there's a story there, maybe.
Yeah, quite possibly. Anyone that so it's Emily Fisk in Wellington Road in Brighton that we're looking for a connection.
Yes, I mean, I couldn't read the surname at first. I thought possibly it was Kirk, but looking closely at it and speaking to one of your colleagues, he thought as well that it was Fisk, F-I-S-K. It's possible it's F-I-R-K, but the more I look at it, the more it looks like an F-I-S-K, and it's Emily, and it's 1898.
You're wondering about the story, and you've obviously got a lot of books there. Have any of the others that you've seen with an interesting story behind, or was this the one that really grabbed you?
Well, this was the first one I picked up. The second one I picked up, I'm in touch with some people in Lyme Regis in Dorset, which is where my father's from, because it's called Lyme Lyrics, and it was published by a publisher that doesn't exist anymore in Bridge Street in 1840-something. And I've been in touch with a local historian in Lyme Regis who's trying to look into that for me, and I might donate that to the museum. But that's interesting because when you try to research it, it doesn't exist on Mr. Google. So
he was an avid collector of books. Then your father, he must have been a very interesting man.
Yes, he was a head teacher, and he wrote a lot of poetry. Most of it was just published for himself, but he's had a few published in different countries, and he's had one read out on Play School about a train many years ago, which he was very proud of. So
yeah, so what a fascinating thing to be going through all those books and bringing back some lovely memories of your dad as well.
It is, and I think he would like me not just to sort of give them to charity or just leave them in a bookcase. If there's something interesting to somebody else, he would like me to find that for him and for them.
So maybe that family name and that address rings some bells with you, and do get in touch with us, sarah.gorrell@bbc.co.uk.